you stand on the Nets now, sir?
Oh, yes, I have a lot of stances that I'd like to take on the Brooklyn Nets. Max, are you ready? Are you buckle up, Max Kellerman? Did you have your seatbelt on? Because I got some things to say. First of all, Kyrie Irving is still a showstopper. He's still spectacular. Let's give him his props. KD coming off the bench, starting in the second quarter, still ends up dropping 33 in 30 minutes. When healthy, I think he is that dude. Having said all of that, did you notice on the other side of town, I mean in the city, Midtown Manhattan, Madison Square Garden, do you see people in absolute jubilation outside of Madison Square Garden? Because the New York Knicks are in the midst of a 9-game winning streak, a league-leading 9-game winning streak as they get set to play the Phoenix Suns tonight, okay? Did you notice that? And what would that have to do with the Brooklyn Nets? Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They have one of the best records in basketball. They have a guy that I believe to be the best on the planet, if not top 2 on the planet, when he's completely healthy and an absolute showstopper in Kyrie Irving. And guess what? Barely anyone cares. Barely anyone cares in New York City compared to the Knicks, okay? Because the New York Knicks are the team that's buzzing. The New York Knicks are the one stealing headlines. Everybody is talking about the New York Knicks. So I got 2 things to say, Max Kellerman, as it pertains to that in regards to the Brooklyn Nets. Number 1, the Brooklyn Nets must go to the NBA Finals. If they don't get to the NBA Finals, the New York Knicks will be considered a better story just because they got to the playoffs. They will be the talk of the offseason. Everyone will be talking about the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks will confiscate headlines from the Brooklyn Nets. Not that they haven't done it already. They've already done it. But I'm just saying it will be indelibly imprinted that the New York Knicks are the story and the Brooklyn Nets are, well, whatever, they're good, but that's what people will say about them. That's number 1, which leads me to my second point, Max and Molly. I want to state for the record, whether they admit it or not, that if the New York Knicks are in the playoffs and the Brooklyn Nets don't win the chip, KD, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving will regret the day they pass on becoming a New York Knick.
He thinks the story's the Knicks right now. The Nets are in first place in the East and just stopped the Suns.
We just going to interrupt, right? We just going to interrupt. Y'all going to act like that, right? Y'all going to act like a, listen, are you, listen, you're back in New York. Molly, you just started off the show admitting you haven't been in New York. You've been gone for a while.
That's right, but
hold, Max, you don't get, your turn is coming, but you don't get to sit up there and act like you know New York. You betrayed New York years ago. You departed. You left us.
Wrong.
You left us. So I'm just saying.
Well, yes, I lived in L.A. for 6 years. Okay. Where are you right now?
He's disloyal.
Where are you right now? Where are you right now? So you should know. So you should know.
I'm filming General Hospital. I'm filming General Hospital. That's
Hold up. When does Brick get a love interest? That's what I want to know.
Well, that is coming. I mean, I think that's coming.
Very good.
Oh, God.
I think that's coming, you know.
Listen, the point is this. You should know out in Hollywood right now, Hollywood Stephen A., you should know. In New York, the Knicks are a big, big story. Nationally, let me tell you where I stand on the Nets. The Knicks might even win a playoff series. I am very impressed. We'll get into the Knicks later in the show. Sure. Right now, let's talk about the Nets. You know what's going to happen? The Knicks could win a playoff series. A month later, the Nets will still be playing basketball. Knicks will be sitting home for a month. And when all of the attention of the world is focused on the NBA, it's going to be on the Nets. Let me tell you what the Nets are right now. The Nets are what the Warriors were. That's what they are. They're what the Warriors were. Stephen A., the Suns had like the best record in the NBA when you count the bubble. They were 8-0. Then they added Chris Paul. They have one of the best records this year. You look at the winning percentage since the bubble, even before Chris Paul. You add those 8 games, it's the best team in basketball, at least in the regular season over that time. And what happened? Kyrie lights it up, as always. KD comes off the bench. No James Harden, and they beat the Suns yesterday. They beat the Suns. They beat one of the best teams in basketball, arguably the best regular season team in basketball for like a year now, minus, I say, their most important player. This Nets team is so good that, you're right, locally, New York is so thirsty for the Knicks to be good. The Knicks will continue to be a big story, and I'm not going to rain on their parade or try to right now. 9 in a row is great. But you really think come deep in the playoffs, when no one's thought about or seen or heard from the Knicks in like a month, and the Nets are obliterating everything in their path, people be thinking about the Knicks?
You're missing it. I think that the nice crew cut that you got over the weekend is clogging your brain just a little bit there, Max Kellerman. Here's the deal. Look, haircut looks good, though. It's all right. I need one. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, Max Kellerman. This is what you're missing. I am not trying to say that as the Nets go deep into the playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals, because I picked them to win it all, okay? Now, I'm not saying that we're not talking about them. I'm saying if they don't win it all, Max Kellerman, the New York Knicks will be considered more of a success story than them. The offseason obviously would be dominated by that reality. And as a result, when you talk about the brand that is New York, the New York Knicks brand, Madison Square Garden, etc., all the aspirations that KD and Kyrie had, their shoe business and beyond, and how exponentially better it would be, it goes right out the window without the chip.
Look.
The New York Knicks have placed the Brooklyn Nets in a position where it's championship or failure. Because the New York Knicks have now elevated to relevancy. Okay? They have an MVP.
Hold on, Stephen A. Hold up.
Stephen A's group chats.
Yeah.
Stephen A. His boys.
Stephen A.
Y'all really think that? Because y'all not watching basketball if y'all really think that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.